Let's see if we can turn this piece of cherry into a pointed box.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about. Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Wolfridge Woodworking. So happy that you joined me today. I thought, you know what? I got one of my favorite shirts on. I said, let's do something different. So I picked up this book from Woodcraft a little bit ago. I'll leave the link down in the description. But there's a box in here that I thought would be quite challenging and be kind of fun to make. So it's called a conical box. I just call it a pointy box, you know, I'm simple. But anyway, so I got a piece of kiln-dried cherry, and I'm trying to think of the website. It's got on the front page. It says Got Wood. I'll leave a description for that. But anyway, this they've got both green and dry wood, and this is one of them. I had gotten an extra piece for a salt shake or a pepper mill, and I decided to go a different direction with it. So I got an extra piece here. So I thought, you know what, it'd be perfect size because it says in this one in the book, you know, a height of 5 inches and 2 5/8 inch diameter. And this is a little over 3 inches wide and about 6 inches tall. So I'm like, I think that might work. So it's going to be an interesting project, and I'm probably a little long-winded, but the challenge that I find is not the bottom, it's that top with that point of trying to figure out the order of operations for that. So, you know, come on, join with me and let's take this journey and figure out how we can turn this rectangle square thingy into a pointed box. All right, so what I've done is I found the center on both ends using my center finder here. And I have mounted it between centers. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to round it out and then put tenons on both ends and then figure out what the next step is. But let's get to turning this thing. Okay, normally when you do a box, you do about 2/3, but because of the way this box is, in looking at the measurements in the book, it's about half. So in between the tenons, I've got about 5.5 inches. So I think that's what, 2 3/4 is about the middle. Okay, so then I'm just going to put a mark on here. And that's going to be our middle point where we are going to part it off. Alrighty, so I hollowed it out with a 2-inch Forstner bit, and now what I want to do is I want to not just leave it flat in there, but I want to take out some of the meat so it's a little bit more uniform and get it a little bit deeper. And then I'll probably straighten out that once I get done. But I'm going to reverse turn it because it's easier for me to get right here. You may not see it, but hopefully you can see it on this side. And I'm just going to use my number 1 hollower to be able to get in there and do that. So yeah, so let's do that. Alrighty, so I've got about a 3/16 inch, pretty consistent wall thickness. I probably still need to get this nub down here in the center. I'll probably do that with maybe that negative rake scraper and just clean up the bottom a little bit more. But after that, I'm going to come in and I'm going to sand the inside and the top here. I'm going to wait to sand this because I'm going to put it all together and get a consistent angle all the way across. So that's going to be towards the end. All right, so I sanded it up to 600. I used the Axe Abrasive paste, polish, and sanding sealer. And now I'm just going to take this off the lathe and set it aside. And we're going to start working on the lid. Okay, let me, I just thinking about this before I get to do anything with this. So what I think I need to do is I need to make the entire thing, the top, at least this big. Maybe just a little bit bigger as a starting point, and then I will work on getting the lid to fit. So that's going to be the plan, get it to be this size, and then work on getting it to fit inside of here. So I think that's what I need to do. Alrighty, that's good. It's kind of tight. It should be a little looser when I sand it on the inside. Because it's going to come to a point and you don't have anything to grab a hold of, you're going to want to make sure that you don't have a super tight connection. That's I think that'll sand down perfectly. But you know what? I did mess up, and it's a lot shorter than I originally wanted. And that's because I was taking off too much. So word of advice is just a little bit, get it close and then just take a little bit off and keep trying. So anyway, I think it's still going to be okay because I still got the tenon that I can take it down. So I think it should come to a nice point. It may be rounded, but we'll see. So I'm going to get it turned around in the chuck. And then I'm going to bring up my tailstock with my one-way live center in it, and then we'll true the entire thing up. One thing also to mention that they do talk about in the book is, and hopefully I didn't mess it up, that you leave enough thickness inside that once it's back in the jaws, you can true it back up and you don't make it too thin. So we'll see if I did, but anyway, I'm gonna get the tailstock, bring up the live center, and then we'll go ahead and profile this to some sort of point. It may not be a point, but you know, it's an experiment. I got to sand it up to 600. So I am going to, after I get this finished, I'm going to have to take out the little point here. I'm going to have to sand it, so it's going to kind of be a blunt end, and then I got to still take that off. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and apply the finish, sanding sealer, and all that good stuff. I know you're probably tired of hearing me say this, but this really was a very fun project. You know, it doesn't look exactly like it does in the book, but as Bob Ross said, we don't make mistakes, we make happy accidents. So I think maybe a couple of things went into why it didn't come to a point. Because if you look, we're probably missing about that much. Maybe I could have angled it in a little bit more. I did lose probably maybe a quarter of an inch by making mistakes on this. According to the book, you're supposed to hollow this out a little bit. But you know what? All in all, I'm very happy with it. I learned a ton on it, and I still think it's a cute little box. And you know, the grain lines up, and got my logo in the bottom. I think it's good. So I hope you agree, and I hope, you know, if you liked it, you know, give me that thumbs up. If you don't like it, you know, give me that thumbs down. But you know, drop a comment down there and say, hey, you know what? I don't like the shape. You know, it's kind of simple. Whatever it is, you know, just let me know. What is it that you don't like? And I do want to thank all of my new subscribers, my subscribers that have been with me from the beginning and in between. I hit over the weekend 1,000 subscribers, and I'm just very humbled by the growth that the channel has seen. Thank you, Rod Humphrey, for giving me a shout out. I think you were the catalyst that pushed me over the edge, and thank you very much, Rod. Thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate it. So if you are stumbling onto this channel, or you're just getting acquainted with the channel, you know, click right here for some more videos with projects like this. If you're not a subscriber, you know, become a subscriber. Click up here, click that bell so that you're notified when I upload a new video. And as always, I wish you and your family a blessed day. Thank you.